Good Packer Nation morning, everybody out there. As you guys get on, I got to tell this story. I'm getting ready to plug in, and Trent there, you guys have probably seen him jump on, make a comment or two. He's like hitting me up, Trent. He's like, where are you, man? I need my Packer fix. I'm rambling. So it's a great morning. It's a game day morning, folks. Anybody got a heart or any sort of happy response to the fact that it is once again game day morning? Grayson is here. Good to see you, man. How are you? Ricky is here. Good morning. And let me know where you're from as well. I try to shout those out as well. We love to see Packer Nation spread across the globe, and it certainly is. We've seen that a lot on here. Jonathan is here, says, go Pack, go. Adam, go Pack, go. Drew is here as well. It's a fantastic morning, and Jared is back from Australia. So good to see you, Jared, and Daniel, and Kyle, and LB Smith is here from Green Bay. Awesome, man. I hope the weather up there is fantastic. I can't wait to roll back up to the promised land myself here, hopefully soon. Hey, there's Trent. All right. Good to see you, buddy. Arkansas Cheesehead is Ricky, and we got Texas on the line, Florida, Panama City here, Milwaukee and Traverse City, Michigan, Springfield, Missouri. Green Bay at 70 and sunny. Guys, I know some of you maybe have never been to Green Bay, but fall in Green Bay, in Wisconsin, is just absolutely gorgeous. Yes, the winters are long. I happen to love winter. They still are a little long for me, but fall is a great time of year, folks. Regular season football is right around the corner. One more preseason game, folks. And do you want to know what? I don't know if you guys were, before the preseason began, I kind of talked about how, the Packers, training camp comes out, we're all excited for training camp. And then after a while, it's like, no, I just, training camp doesn't do it for me. I need a game. And then we want to see the preseason games. And then the first two preseason games after that, you're kind of like, no, preseason games just don't do it for me. I need the regular season. Well, this year, the preseason has totally kept me stoked. Joey says hi to everybody. The preseason has totally kept me interested this year. And part of the reason for that is, guys, what is going on with this roster? This roster is showing itself to be extraordinarily deep right now. We've still got people fighting for roster spots. How about guys like Carl Bradford out there? How about guys like Geronimo Allison? Anybody got a thumbs up for guys like Carl Bradford, Geronimo Allison, Christian Ringo, Kentrell Bryce? This roster could be special. And remember, we mentioned, I quoted let's see, who was it? I want to see if I can get it right. I can't remember which coach it was that said it's the bottom half of the roster that wins you a Super Bowl. And for crying out loud, our roster from the starter, from the second on down, like I've said, I think it's the deepest in football right now. I can't think of anybody that's got more depth than the Green Bay Packers, and that could pay extraordinary dividends down the road. Well, let's hope so. We've got one preseason game to go tonight, 7 o'clock, I believe, if you're in Central Standard Time, and the Packers will be rolling out everybody. This game, of course, it's game day, so it's prediction Thursday. Don't throw them up just yet. Hold off for a second, because otherwise I'll miss them, because I'm going to be blabbing my freaking mouth. But this is the fourth preseason game, the last one. And so all this is going to be it's the bubble game. It's been called. I like that term, because all these players are going to get one last shot, one last look, and one last chance to make this roster. So it's going to be time to make a flash play. A guy like Christian Ringo, he goes out, and if he does some good things and has a flash play today, you guys might see behind me. Does that look familiar? There's an ex-Packer now. That looks like Mortel right there getting ready to punt. And by the way, this last preseason game is going to be about, those guys having one last chance to make a flash play. I can't wait to see how this shakes out. And again, this would be a game that in past years I really wouldn't have much interest in. This year, for crying out loud, we've got so much depth, and we're going to be giving up. We've said this all along. I know you guys understand this. When the final cuts come down, There's going to be some players we're sad to see leave, without a doubt. There's going to be some players we're just going to be sad to see leave and thought had a lot of potential, because that's just how deep we are. But yeah, that's how it goes. That's NFL football. So let's before we do predictions, right? Because Jeff says, "What's up to Packer Nation?" Before we do predictions for the final preseason game, which again is probably for the young players, it's the most meaningful, perhaps. For Packer Nation, it may be the most meaningless. I don't know where you stand on that. Personally, I'm just frankly interested in it because of the depth that we have, that we're showing. I want to watch some of these guys play that one last time. But we still have positions that have not been decided. And the reason they haven't been decided is because of the depth. What about that third wide receiver spot? Who do you think is going to get slotted in there? Jared Abbrederis has done a fantastic job. Ty Montgomery, I thought, would jump in and be one of those guys that could really walk through an open door and take that, maybe even take that from Davante Adams. Davante Adams has been sort of hit or miss, but we have seen him flash his potential and the skill that he has. So we're going to find out how this order shakes out in that third wide receiver spot in particular. But how about inside linebacker as well? Who do you got in the inside? We haven't seen hide nor hair of Jake Ryan yet. This guy did a good job, fairly good job as a rookie last year. He's coming into his second year. If he makes a jump, we get better. But right now, Carl Bradford's in there playing well. Thomas is playing well. These guys are making plays in the inside. And we have needed that for a long time. So who's it going to be? Okay, Chris is saying that Jared, I'm assuming Abbrederis, obviously is going to be traded, and Jared Dixon jumps on and says, I will not be traded. Yeah, Jared is a Packer for life. Both of them. But guys, I tell you what, Chris has got Jake Ryan in that spot. Chris says that Adams is garbage. I think he needs to show something for sure. I think he's got all the skill set in the world that we need to make him a number 3 in particular on our team. We will see. Martinez and Barrington in the middle. That's a combination. This is what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of these combinations go out on the field. I'm hoping Ryan is ready to go. I want to see him play. Obviously, we've got, again, now more options, and I think I might have mentioned this the other day. I'm sitting watching with my son, my oldest, these preseason games, and we're asking ourselves, like, can't someone just prove themselves that they're not worthy and make this a little bit easier, make these decisions a little bit easier? Because, man, I tell you what, Carl Bradford has done a bang-up job out there. He has really shown to be an active tackler. I love the way he attacks the ball downhill. Again, inside, he doesn't have to have a huge pass rush on him. However, what we did with Clay Matthews, a lot of times he got a lot of his pass rush from the inside. Of course, he's a great player, obviously, elite player. But also you can stunt and cross those guys. But what I mostly want to see out of this inside linebacker group, whatever combination come up with, is be able to stop the run. And that is still a question mark that, it still remains to be seen with Clay Matthews moving back outside, spending the bulk of his time outside again. Can the Packers stop the run? Will we be soft in the middle? Just remember, it wasn't long ago when we watched this team just get gashed. Adrian Peterson would gash us. Of course, the Seahawks and Marshawn Lynch would do the beast mode crap on us, and I hated it. Then, of course, we had to make the move with Clay Matthews. But that is all looking like, and I don't want to jinx anything. I want to knock on wood or something. But it's looking like we might be able to fix that. Early, before the preseason, I said I didn't think we had the answer on the roster. And the reason for that was because of, we saw guys that we had drafted. I did think Jake Ryan did a good job. But I didn't think that, I wasn't sure about Barrington if he was going to be able to come back at that time. Right now, it looks like we have enough depth that the Packers are going to have the ability to go in, test out their combinations, and get the combination that they think is going to take this team into the future. And of course, there's the possibility, thinking about that this morning, there is the possibility that they don't get it absolutely right off the bat, but we're going to have enough depth that they can plug and play. And as we all know, the Packers are going to be a rotational team to some extent out there, and we're going to have some Yeah, Ryan's mentioning no more Lynch. Yes, I'm glad. Smith, LB Smith is saying that Kenny Clark needs to step up. That's, I think, the biggest question mark for me right now is we do have a little bit of a depth situation on the defensive line. I think Ringo's done a good job and bid for a spot. I don't know how many we're going to keep necessarily. Let me just clear that real quick. And, but I do want to see, because again, that's crucial for our ability to stop the run. Our 3-4 defense when we're in base, which is very rare, we're a nickel defense for the most part, but we need those big guys to be able to take on blockers and free up our linebackers to make tackles. And so it's going to be crucial for our ability to stop the run. And Kenny Clark, I'm excited about the kid's development, but as I said before, I think that he's going to be one that maybe pays dividends down the stretch for us and sort of holds his own at first. I don't think he's going to come in and be, a Mike Daniels type where he can actually get after the passer. I don't think he's even going. I think we're going to miss B.J. Raji to some extent. Raji had a good season last year, I thought, and we're missing, of course, Pennell for the first 4 games. We've got some possible issues up front. And remember, it all starts up front. So this, again, we can see where if we're soft up front in the middle, then we have trouble because now the linebackers can't get to the ball, and now we have running backs once again running all over us. Big Nick is here. Good to see you, man. He says good morning to Packer Nation, but I think we're going to be fine. And like I said, I think Kenny Clark will have a chance to develop. Again, we rotate those guys as much as possible to keep them fresh, and I think McCarthy and Dom Capers will manage that really well. What do you think the final score is going to be, guys? It's prediction time. I will say this. I have not even thought about this because my inclination was it's the last preseason game. But we have made predictions. We are going to be consistent. I know that you guys are, oh, yeah, Samantha's saying Ned's always late. I didn't see you come on, Ned. But if you're there, good to see you, man. Chris says 24-10 pack. You can see these things roll. 20-10 pack. We're very similar, 24-17. I think our defense is actually going to hold its own. I've got 20-7 Packers. I think that the combination, because of our depth, the combination that gets out there. Actually, let me write that down because, like I said, I'm totally just going by intuition right now. And the reason is that, what can you predict? I mean, we don't even know. They're going to just be throwing combination after combination out there. I'm going to write mine down right now so that I can give myself credit if there's any to give, which is that's hit or miss. Did pretty well in the last game. I don't know if you nailed it on the dog and give yourself your own props. I went through and didn't find anybody who really that I saw absolutely hit it. Against the 49ers, Devontae Adams. Here's whoever was out there saying that Devontae Adams sucked. I'm with you in this, at least. He dropped my fourth. I called for a touchdown pass for each quarter. Not necessarily in each quarter, but a total of 4. And I had 1 field goal by Mason Crosby. Devontae Adams dropped my other touchdown that could have at least put me within 3. I'd have been within 3. So I'm not happy with you, Devontae. Don't drop. And it was a freaking awesome pass by Callahan. Man, Callahan is going out there, man. He's slinging the ball around like a pro, and I'm loving watching him play. He's half the reason. Okay. I'm Osasi or Osasi. What an awesome name, dude. And I am totally butchering it. I hate it. But he's saying he got close. Okay, so that's fine. Jared says 24-13 pack. Ryan says, I love Adams. I'm not happy with the guy, man. He dropped my 4th touchdown. My prediction was going to be awesome. But yeah, Callahan is looking great out there. We've got, you guys roll the predictions. You've got mine. I've got 20-7. I think our defense has been showing a lot of depth and activity. I think that I hope that we once again, that this final preseason game, we get at least 1 more interception. I have loved what I've seen. We talked about this, that if Clay Matthews and Julius Peppers, which we're going to talk about in a minute, obviously, Clay Matthews and Julius Peppers start getting pressure on the quarterback and we can hold our own against the run, then we force teams into 3rd and long. And the defensive backfield, as deep as it is, becomes a ball-hawking defense, all right? Really, like we haven't been for a couple years. You know, we saw HaHa Clinton-Dix in the NFC Championship game a couple years back do a fantastic job. But I see a lot of potential for turnovers in that backfield, partly because we can now put Clay Matthews back on the outside and team him up with Julius Peppers and get that bookend combination that we've been looking for since we brought Julius Peppers over from the Chicago Bears. We haven't had a chance to see that yet, really. And now we're going to have that chance. I think that's super exciting for me. I want to see one more turnover in this preseason game because these turnovers, if they kind of tend to come in streaks, and I don't want to see the streak end at the end of the preseason. I want us to roll that streak right into the regular season against the Jacksonville Jaguars, folks. It's going to be great. So how about this? I've got a poll for everybody. I'm spitting all over the camera. I don't know if you can see this, but it's Tim the Enchanter all over again. I am spitting. Bones of a few and 50 men lie strewn about its lair. Give me a heart if you're happy about the news that Clay Matthews and Julius Peppers have been cleared of any and all wrongdoing or any thought of wrongdoing about the Al Jazeera report and performance-enhancing drugs. I said all along, my problem with this was not with the Al Jazeera report. I watched that report. That was actually an expose that was undercover. I didn't give it a whole lot of credibility, but it certainly wasn't horrible by any stretch if you watched it. However, what I had a major problem with was the fact that the NFL could actually hand out suspensions based on something like that had no actual direct evidence whatsoever. It was all, circumstantial. It was all hearsay. That's what I had a problem with. That's what I worried about, is the fact that Roger Goodell has enough power to start handing out suspensions based on basically nothing. It sounded a bit un-American to me, to be quite honest. I know Aaron Rodgers has commented on this. The next collective bargaining agreement, you can bet it's going to be a lot tougher. I believe. I think Roger Goodell, I think there's a lot of concern about how much power he has in the league right now, and that was my concern. That was my big concern. But it's all over now, which means the bookend is in full swing. Clay Matthews and Julius Peppers are going to be going out on the field. We won't see him tonight, but we are going to see him against Jacksonville. Watch out, Jags. We are coming at you full force. And we're going to have, by then we'll know who's going to be teaming up on the inside. It's going to be fantastic. Quentin Rollins and Randall out there in the defensive backfield. HaHa Clinton-Dix and Morgan Burnett hopefully back will be ball hawking in the back. I see my friend Dale, I think, out there. I see a little ETSU magic popping up on the screen. Good to see you, Dale, buddy. Hope you're having a great day. It's Thursday, folks, and not only that, but it's game day Thursday. It's the final preseason game day Thursday, which means we watch this one, and then it's all about the regular season. It is all about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Adam says the Jags are going down. Watch out for Robinson. Goodell should give Brady an extra 4 weeks for the... Okay, I'll let you guys read that one. You can read the comments. But yeah, Goodell, there is a lot of concern about the power Goodell has. But in this case, it is not going to affect our beloved Green Bay Packers just now. Dale, who just got on, we got a lot of NFC North folks jumping on the show. Dale is going to watch his Bears. He's going to be rooting against us, but we shall be victorious, victoriant in the skirmish, I hope. It's going to be a great season, guys. It's going to be a grueling season. Remember, we've got an early bye this year, which I do not like at all. We have gotten news this week. Obviously, the big news is Clay Matthews and Julius Peppers cleared of any, their names have been cleared, and that's good to hear. Teddy Bridgewater going down for the season with the Vikings. The Detroit Lions there's not been a lot of news out of Detroit Lions training camp. I think they may be the sort of bottom dwellers, but I think those Vikings are going to have to find a game manager at this point. I'm sure they're already moved on and taking steps for that, folks. I can't wait for the regular season. I'm stoked, though, about another chance to watch these Packers, this roster begin to solidify now. It's go time, and this is the last preseason game. Those final decisions have to be made, and boy, they're going to be tough ones. Like I said, we're going to be sad to see several players leave the Green Bay Packers. But again, hopefully we can keep the ones we need to on the practice squad so that they're still available. Hide them a little bit there, but I know a lot of teams in the league are watching this Green Bay Packer team and seeing its depth, and they're going to be keeping an eye and sending scouts to this final game, and then keeping an eye on those cuts because the Packers team is looking very deep right now, and that's what we want to see. That bottom half of our roster is shaping up quickly, and it's going to be real important for us down the stretch. And Jonathan is making a good point. We didn't need Teddy to get injured to get the NFC North Championship, and I agree. I would rather play the Vikings with Teddy Bridgewater because, frankly, I want to beat him full strength. I like I said yesterday, I don't take any joy in it. It's the way football goes. We know this happened. I know how it happened to me firsthand. I talked yesterday about how it is not comfortable to have your knee dislocate, and have everything in between snap on the way. So I guess that's about time to wrap it up, folks. I'm starting to babble at this point. Blah, blah. So go ahead. If you haven't put your prediction up on the screen, you can go ahead and do that on the way out. I will wish you a great Thursday. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My days, man, I'm enjoying it right now. I'm not in the promised land, but I'm talking about the Packers. It doesn't get too much better than that. So you guys have a great day. Remember, game day tonight, and then you're rolling into Friday, and it's time for the weekend again. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Tomorrow is your show. The only thing I am going to add tomorrow, in case you didn't catch it, is I will be showing off for all of you that jump on the show the Packer Nation Trophy for my league, our league, that we are going to roll out in the new game that we are offering for everybody out there. It is going to be a blast, and I will have some more information about the game. If you haven't signed up, you can register early to get that game. This has not ever seen the light of day. In fact, all of us that have, I say we liked it so much we bought the company, kind of, but all of us who are influencers who are out there pushing this game, I guess is the word. I'm not really pushing it. It's a free app. But you do get some perks for jumping on soon, okay? Hey, Nikki, good to see you. You do get some perks. You'll probably get thrown a couple tokens. You might get some lifetime achievement points in this, but you will get a badge that says you knew this sucker was coming out before it ever hit Google Play or the Apple Store. It's coming out early, all right? Bye, Samantha. See you next time. Folks, if you want, go to greenbaypackernation.com. We've got some other things in the way now. You might have to scroll down a little bit, and you can see there's a post that says get the app before it comes out. If you click on that, there's a form you fill out. It's just your name, your number, and your email address. That's all we need, and I will personally send you an invitation. I'm going to be doing more of those today. I'm having trouble keeping up, but we will get all those out. And again, it's not coming out until October, so you don't have to worry about it. We'll get you on board. Everything is retroactive, and you will get your credit for registering. I saw the question come about, how do I register? So let me just jump on right here. All you have to do is go to greenbaypackernation.com, and I'm going to double check how far down. I'll check how far down the list we are, because our website really it's made for your phone, really. It's just a list of our different stories that we have. We've got the tweet cap of training camp, and then the next story down says get in before the app even comes out. All you've got to do is click on that story. There's a simple form at the bottom. You can scroll within that form. So if you don't see it all, you can scroll. Give me your name, your number, and your email address. And the reason for that, the reason for the phone number is because this is already in at least like 200 countries already. We've got this game. Because this is going to be more than just NFL football. It's going to be huge, absolutely huge. But all you have to do is give me your name and your phone number. They use the number because then they can associate it to the other countries when they need. But the other reason is you're actually from my phone to you, you're going to get a text from me that invites you early to the game. But it comes straight from me. That's why it's taken a little longer. Later on, I'll have a much more direct, easy way to bring people on because we're going to need that. But for all of you guys that listen, this is just a little chance. just a way for me to kind of say, hey, thanks for jumping on board. I'm glad you're excited about this, as excited as me. So that's how you do it. I hope that answered your question. I saw that roll across the screen. Guys, I'm going to let you go. I know your time is valuable. I've got stuff to do. Andy Kraus, Andy, my friend, if you're out there, I'm coming to pick up my check, bro. Headed across town for Andy. Andy is up at work. Great guy, a great Packer fan, and it'll be good to see good old Andy today for a minute. I try not to take up too much of his time either. But guys, you have a fantastic day. We're rolling into the weekend, and enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk to you later. Go Pack.